I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Touchstone Pictures. Monstrous trolls have sprung to life.
I sure hope you're from Keebler.
And now Ernest P. Worrell is springing into action. He'll try anything.
I know Tai Chi Kung Fu, chow mein.
And everything.
Your shoes untied.
To save the day.
It's showtime.
It's Ernest P. Worrell in a brand new movie. Ernest Scared Stupid.
How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips? Know what I mean?
Starts Friday, October 11th at a theater near you.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review, and this is a Patreon review, the second of two for Andrew Chilton, and it's for Ernest Scared Stupid. Now, it's fun to rewatch this film again because I'm a big fan of this movie. I really miss Jim Varney. I grew up watching the Ernest films. I reviewed a couple of them, including Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest, I think, Goes to Camp. I reviewed that. I think I reviewed Ernest Rides Again. Anyway, for those interested in requests, you just send a request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below. It could be requests for pretty much any type of video. You just have to be patient because it takes time for me to do this stuff. I'm sorry. But Ernest Scared Stupid. Sadly, is one of the, even though this is my personal favorite Ernest film, Jim Varney had this deal with the company at the time that was releasing these films in theaters, and this film was deemed a box office disappointment, so he did not get another multi-picture deal. So after this, he would do films like Ernest Rides Again, which I quite enjoy, but then more straight-to-video stuff of that nature, Slam Dunk Ernest, Ernest Goes to Africa, Ernest in the Army, Ernest Goes to School, just films that were just not nearly as good as his heyday. And you know, those films, I just still enjoy Jim Varney himself, but the films themselves, you could definitely tell they're a lot cheaper, and the plots were a lot less interesting, even for a kid's film, and things were just not the same after that. Again, I would say the last great one is Ernest Rides Again, which is actually one of my favorites. Now, back to this came around 1991, and I could imagine the meeting where, hell, Ernest Saves Christmas, let's find another holiday, why not do Halloween? And it was a perfect fit, I thought. This is a film I saw quite a few times I was a kid because liking Ernest, liking horror films, it was cool to have the two meet up. And the whole backstory of this troll that was caught, put in the sack, put into the ground, and then many years later, Ernest is a garbage man. He's friends with these kids. One thing leads to another, helps him build this tree house, and inadvertently releases this troll. I believe the troll and his cohorts that you see at the finale, I believe they were done by the Kyoto brothers. the guys who worked on Kilotron's from Outer Space and Critters, and I thought they looked pretty good for, even though this went in the theaters, it wasn't like these had massive budgets either, but I thought they worked well, and I thought there were actual moments where I could see kids being maybe creeped out, or maybe being even freaked out. You know, there's a scene where a little girl checks her bed for the troll. When she gets back up, she turns and there's the troll there. Or how the troll will get kids and turn them into little wooden dolls. So it's still a very fun, goofy, silly kids film, but there's a bit of danger involved with the movie too. But at the same time, not so much that the tone is so thrown out of whack. Now, most of these films are from the same director, John Cherry, who worked with Jim Varney on many of the commercials, because that's what Ernest was. He was a TV pitchman character for a variety of commercials, selling products like Mellow Yellow, among a bunch of other stuff. And then they thought, okay, he's getting very popular, so that led to Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas, and so forth, that were decently successful compared to their budget. Now, why do I enjoy the film so much? Number one, I think Jim Varney does a good job. I've seen reviews saying, oh, well, Jim Varney was by the numbers, or Jim Varney didn't, they said like he didn't know what he was doing, and that he was getting bored with the character, and I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I think Jim Varney's just as good here, or better, compared to the other films he was doing at the time. The intro is fun. How you have this lively music, and then you have all this collage, this montage of horror films, mainly public domain. So you got like Nosferatu, other films like, especially from the 50s. But I thought it worked well for the tone. It worked well for the story. So it was cool to watch, because as a kid, I'm like, oh, what's that movie? What's that movie? And as you're older, it's fun to try to look through each of those clips and go, okay, that's from this movie, and that's from this movie, and make a list of, oh, okay, that's all these crazy, weird monsters and weird things, mostly all in black and white. And it was a bit unique for an intro. I thought it worked well again for the flick. I thought some of the dialogue was pretty clever, and also didn't, how do I put it, certain references I didn't mind. Like this little girl's telling the story about what happened back in the day, this legend of this town, of this troll, and one kid goes, it's supposed to be a history of our town, not Nightmare on Troll Street. So, okay, that's a nice reference. You have Ernest, very likable character. You have his dog Rimshot, who's in a couple of the early Ernest films, and then that dog kind of went away. You have the character Bobby, who was in the other films. I don't know why they don't have the other guy, which the actor was Gaylord Sartain. He's greatly missed. The other guy they have there, he's just not as good. I thought Gaylord Sartain worked well with Bobby, the character played by Bill Burge. Like, they worked excellent together in Ernest Saves Christmas and Ernest Goes to Jail. I don't know why they didn't bring that guy back. And I don't know if anyone's ever asked the guy, like, what happened? Did you get tired of it? Not give you enough money? Did something else happen? So that's one of my few nitpicks, is that he should have been in it, not this other guy. But I like the idea of these two selling Ernest all of these troll traps, and even a record of troll love songs. Like, you have stuff that goes off kilter. Other people in the film, the only other one I recognize is Eartha Kitt, who's this crazed old woman that knew the legend and tries to warn Ernest not to do what he's doing. there were times where Ernest would go into different characters, so he'll talk to the kids, and then all of a sudden he's in like different costumes. I'm like, wow, this is, if you don't know any better, Ernest is schizophrenic. At least you would think. But watch it, again, it still got quite a few chuckles out of it. Like when Eartha Kitt gets pissed, like, you're on this land, why are you on that tree? And Ernest thinks they're on their property, and he's trying to talk to her and goes, well, we're not really on your place, we're sort of above your place. You know, you want to talk air rights, you want to talk this, that? Or the first time he sees the troll, he's like, boy, I sure hope you're from Keebler. You know, the Keebler, they make the cookies. I thought that was pretty funny. Oh, don't fight me. I know Kung Fu Tai Chi. I saw Hulkamania 3 times, even once in slow motion. Or when he's describing it to someone, he's like, it looked like a giant Mr. Potato Head. What makes the film is Jim Varney. He's not the only reason why it works, but I thought he was very funny. I thought he was very much on his game, and he was incredibly entertaining. I liked a lot of his dialogue. Or he talks about how, oh, it's gonna be tough, and this is the firing line, this is the end of the line, this is 8th level Mario Brothers. I am the great redneck hope. And then it goes like, hallelujah. So yeah, it's meant to be silly, it's not meant to be realistic, it's very much a fantasy, as if the idea of trolls didn't make that apparent. So people will either go with it or they don't. And I don't know how kids today would feel about Ernest and Jim Varney. They may think it's too chilly, too silly, too goofy, but to me, it's not just nostalgia why I enjoy it. I think it's not that badly filmed. It does look like a film that would go into theaters. The kids are fine. They're not great or grand, but they're fine for what they had to do. I don't think they were that bad. The look of the troll, and then when he gets his other cohorts, which are other trolls, I like that each of them have different faces and different designs. Granted, they're not the Ninja Turtles from the 90s, you know, that articulate and fantastic on animatronics, but I thought they looked pretty decent for what kind of film this is. Done practically. And that's the thing with the comedy. Did it make me laugh? Yes, it made me laugh quite a few times. Especially because of Jim Varney. When he has this trap that he makes, and then he has his hand and the lid lands on the hand, he's like, and then he screams. See, that's some nice comic timing there. Or when he's in a store and this guy he's talking to, the guy sees the troll behind him, but Ernest doesn't know this. And so the guy can't talk. He's like, oh, charades, I love charades. The 2 words. And then the guy brings up a shotgun. He's like, okay, you win. Man, when you play charades, you really play for keeps, don't you? As I said, I thought this had some clever moments. I liked the way the intro was set up with all the clips of older films. I like this one bit where I never know when to quit. Just ask my 4th grade teacher. And it cuts to him as a kid, and the teacher talks to the camera. He never knew when to quit. And the boy Ernest is writing on a chalkboard, and when he's scratching, the teacher just hits him. It's like, oh. Oh, the way that was set up, I thought that was pretty funny and pretty interesting. Why interesting? Because the way the shot was set up, it was a nice visual gag. That's like something that Family Guy would do. Like they reference something, then it cuts to seeing like a visual representation of the gag, then cut to it. But then done well before Family Guy. And no, you're not going to have a lot of action. The little bits there is like him battling the troll on the back of his pickup truck, and he's trying to use nunchucks and hits himself on it. The finale at the end where he read this book, and there's supposed to be this thing that's a weapon that can be used against it, and it's MI something K. And of course it's milk, but for some reason Ernest thinks it's miak, whatever the fuck that is. And then he finds it, this thing called miak. It's such a ridiculous, stupid thing, but yet I couldn't help but laugh. Miak, you didn't think I'd find it this time of year. I said, well, what the fuck is a miak? I mean, and for a split second, I'm like, is that a real fucking thing, miak? Like, what the fuck is that? But of course it's milk. And you have the kids and Ernest battling all these trolls. And when the trolls die, they turn into like a bloody mess. Like, what's left is like a bloody, pus-filled mess. Pretty gross when you look at it. And even how he kills the main troll, because it's love that defeats the troll. So as I call it, he Me Too'd the troll. That's but hey, Ernest, he did a Me Too on the troll. He Me Too'd him to death. And the fucking troll, I mean, everything works out fine. The movie ends, it doesn't overstay its welcome. The music is lively and it fits the tone of the film, the musical score. And like I said, I like the references to the dialogue. Quite a bit of it made me laugh. It went at a fast pace. It's only 80-90 minutes long, not too long at all. And overall, this was enjoyable to watch again. This is quite enjoyable to watch again. And I kind of wish I always forget to have the thing set up where I could look to see if there's any info about the film that I could share. Because that's the sad thing about these films, is that they have no special features. None at all. And now that Jim Varney has passed away, but I mean, maybe info on the Kyoto brothers and how they made the trolls. Who directed most of these movies, I'm sure he would have stuff to share. Maybe the kids, not that they're grown up. Yeah, due to its modest gross of $14 million at the box office, Disney decided not to extend their 4-picture deal with Varney and John Cherry. There's Ernest Goes to Camp, Save Christmas, Goes to Jail in this one, under Touchstone Pictures. So they were independently produced. They talk about how Ernest Rise Again, they said it was a theatrical release. I don't know about that. Maybe in a few markets, but not that widely released theatrically. And then when that failed, all the films went straight to video. In the opening credits, the montage of clips include films like Nosferatu, White Zombie, Phantom from Space, The Brain from Planet Eris, The Screaming Skull, Missile to the Moon, The Hideous Sun Demon, The Giant Gila Monster, The Killer Shrews, Battle Beyond the Sun, and The Little Shop of Horrors from 1960. That's cool, someone listed at least a few of them on there. Oh, I don't even know if this film has a Blu-ray. It might be in a Blu-ray. I'm not sure now that I think about it. Maybe not. Maybe it probably is, but one of those cheap like Mill Creek Entertainment stuff. Because I know the DVDs were Mill Creek. And yeah, you had after this Ernest Rise Again, then Ernest Goes to Jail, then Slam Dunk Ernest. Just a 5.8, which, you know, I would give it higher. I'm trying to look at the trivia. Some people believe the reason why this film did not perform as well at the box office because kids found it to be too scary. Many people agree that the thought of a troll stealing the souls of children and the troll's deaths to be very disturbing. Well, then they're pussies, to be honest. Then they're fucking pussies. It's one, I mean, I get, oh shit. But to be that scared that you're not going to see the film, I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, kids were watching Friday the 13th films at the time. When Ernest Goes to Jail was in theaters, there's an Entertainment Weekly article in which they were discussing the next Ernest film, but the plot was described as Ernest inheriting a haunted house from his family. That, I could have seen that too, but I like the way it played out here. It was interesting and had some genuine laughs from me. So yeah, I quite enjoy Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah, I would say if I had to pick, it would be my favorite because I like the blend of earnest and horror. And fuck this, not any. If people think, oh, it's silly, embarrassing, just watch Adam Sandler's new trailer for his new fucking Halloween movie. Who Beats Halloween? What the fuck? Nothing in this movie is as silly or childish as all the shit in that trailer. Fuck, it makes this movie look like Phantasm compared to that. But yeah, Ernest Scared Stupid, definitely a big thumbs up from me. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
From Touchstone Pictures, Ernest P. Worrell is back
And I ain't never had a job.
in an all-new movie.
Am I impressed?
Ernest P. Worrell,
Every goddamn one of us.
the man with 100 faces
But wait, there's more.
and 1,000,000 ways to make you laugh.
I've never known when to quit. Just ask my 4th grade teacher.
He never knew when to quit.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Way to go, Ernest.